Antonio Block here with the Williamson County GOP, a youth ambassador. Recently joined and did that. Have you ever, as young people, or whatever stage you are in the political world, have you ever wanted to get involved in affecting local issues and you don't know where to start, or you wondered whether your voice really mattered or was heard? Well, today I'm joined by a very special guest, and we're going to answer some of those questions and how you can get involved. I'm excited to be joined today by Tennessee State Representative Kip Capley, who is at 28 years old, one of the youngest members of the House of Representatives in Tennessee. He's part of the 71st District and is a seventh generation Tennessean who is serving Summertown since 2022. He is a graduate of the Middle Tennessee State University and Trevecca Nazarene University. So, Kip, thank you so much for joining, and I'm glad we could get you onto the podcast. So, why don't you tell us a bit about your journey? When and what first got you interested in politics?
Just going back to college, I wasn't really interested in politics. I mean, my family had been Republicans forever. I knew I was a Republican. Didn't really care a whole lot about it until I got to college, I guess. And this guy started running for president. His name was Donald Trump, and he just kind of said what was on his mind. Didn't care what anybody thought, and I felt like I could relate to him. So ended up volunteering for a short period of time on his campaign the first time he ran, and just enjoyed it and caught the bug. And I was at MTSU, and so Mark Green, who is now resigning, as I'm sure y'all know, because Williamson County is represented by him, and y'all are about to have a special election, so that's going to be fun for y'all. Woohoo! Jealous. He sent out, after he won, he sent out a like an intern request to the political science department at MTSU, and I was like there was 6 people that responded, and I was the only Republican. So needless to say, I got it, I guess. And then again, just kind of worked in the office, fell in love with it, had a great time. I'm sure many of y'all know Steve Albrooks. I was actually his intern for a little bit while I was in college. And yeah, just kind of caught the bug and took off. Realized I was good at it, and here we are.
Great. So, would you say that's what motivated you? Was that, or did you have another motivation?
To get involved, I really, man, I don't know. I was so tired of seeing all these liberal Democrats just loud and proud, and everybody, it seemed at the time, at least my generation, our generation, was just kind of complacent. And I knew, and like I said, all my friends were Republicans, but nobody cared enough to say anything. Like they were just like, "Yeah, these Democrats are, at it again." And I'm like, "Well, why don't we do something?" So that's kind of as far as like starting out to get involved. Now, why I ran for this the first time is I just wasn't comfortable with the other 3 individuals in the primary running. I didn't want them representing me and my family, and I felt like I could do a better job than them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you saw a flaw, and then you decided to advocate for the flaw that you saw.
Mhm.
So locally, kind of on to like how I was thinking, like why does local voting even matter? Like why should we care? A lot of people my age, maybe a little bit older, really don't think local politics care.
Yeah. Local politics is super important. When you at the local level, you know, the way I try to think about it is decisions are generally made that affect the people, where you live from the local level and then on up. So your school board, your sheriff, your county mayor, your city mayor, whatever, all that is super important because they're making decisions every day that directly impact. If your county commission decides to put a 10% increase on your property tax or whatever, I mean, that's going to directly affect you as soon as they pass it. So, or if you have a terrible sheriff, which we have great sheriffs across the great state of Tennessee, if you have, liberal law enforcement, then your community is going to suffer because they have no leadership, and that's directly impacted on the local level as well. So you really don't, and I didn't realize it when I was in college, right? And I don't know if I didn't realize it or I just didn't care because I never thought about it. But when you look at it, local elections are vastly important. I mean, they really are. They really matter. They're very, very important, and we can go through all the different offices and what they do and all that fun stuff. But they directly impact you in the quickest way possible. And trust me, when you've got bad leadership in those positions, you know pretty quickly. It's very hard to hide it.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people don't realize, a lot of people think that the president and the senators are really the only main ones we should, but really like our like state representatives, our like you said, mayors, all those things really impact you directly,
Hmm.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, because you can't expect to think that, and this is what and I've told people this, and they're like, oh, Donald Trump has no idea where Summertown, Tennessee is. Why would he know where that is? You know what I'm saying? Like it's he's got other things going on, so it's the local elections, the local folks, people live here, wherever. Now he might obviously he cares, but you know it's super important.
Yeah. So for people that are on the fence, like people who are kind of like, maybe I should vote Democrat or Republican, the GOP's vision is freedom, opportunity, and improving our community at the local level. So, how would these principles impact local elections and our policies?
Yeah, I mean, as a general rule of thumb, Republicans, like you said, are for freedom. We're for low taxes. We're for strengthening our law enforcement in our community. Um, you know, the other party is just not. They're more focused, and that's not. I'm not being whatever about it. That's just a simple matter of fact. I mean, there's a reason out of 99 representatives in the state, 75 of us are Republicans. Um, the Democrats are just not for those things. They want weak judges. They want weak DAs. They want weak law enforcement across the whole because they're standing with the criminal. They don't stand with law enforcement. They want you to be taxed out of your house and home just to afford really ignorant things, DEI policies, and you name it. I mean, it's just the way I try to tell people about it is that the Republican Party, we rule based off of logic, and the Democrats rule based off of feelings. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's similar to what I tell people too. Like
Yeah.
so, like similar to me, I saw the flaws back years ago. I used to live in Chicago for 12 years, and I want to tell that's a whole. I could go into a whole podcast about living in Chicago for 12 years. So, for if people have no experience like with campaigns or helping, or what's the first step you could recommend to help?
Man, if you got a good relationship with your local party, that's a good first step just to kind of get involved and volunteer with them. And man, I did it. Like I said, I was an intern. I picked up trash and cleaned tables and moved chairs and table. I mean, all kind of different things help set up and break down and get areas ready for events and helping with events and all that stuff is super important. It takes a lot of time and a lot of manpower to make a lot of these things happen. People don't realize, they're just like, oh, well, I'll just show up and hang out, and then when it's over, it's over. Well, most of the time you've got a group of people that are staying behind, cleaning up, and whatever. So that would be a good first place to start at your county party, obviously. And then if you've got a local candidate that you're passionate about, maybe you know them or you're friends with their family, or you hear them speak somewhere, or just happen to catch them in town. You talk to them, and you get a passion to help them, or you feel like, hey, I really, I like this person, and you can just volunteer yourself. Just say, hey, do you want me to go knock doors with you on one weekend? I've got some time, coming up. I'd be glad to come knock doors with you, or help you put up signs, or whatever. So that it's really people are afraid to ask, to volunteer themselves. I think they're it's uncomfortable, but I guarantee you, if you ask 95% of the time, they're gonna be like, "Oh, yes, I would love to have some help," because there's just not a lot of that going around. Just to be honest with
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Some people just need a little bit of a helping hand getting the ball rolling.
you.
Because I would definitely say the getting that first step if you want to get involved, it's a little, it can be a little tough at first. Like
Sure,
some
it's
of the
awkward.
events
Yeah,
or going door
especially if you've never
knocking.
done it. Yeah, it's very awkward.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. I was interested, and for years I debated on helping, and then just a couple months ago, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I helped out with Bill Petty, Commissioner Bill Petty's campaign, door knocked. Fun experience. Met some of the best people I've ever.
Yeah.
Some of my friends now.
Hmm.
It's a great time. Not only is it just politics, but you also create great friendships with people,
Oh yeah,
like-minded people. That yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, what would you say for what like after the election season's over, how should people stay like involved with politics?
You definitely want to keep in contact with your elected officials as much as you possibly can. And I'm not saying, constantly badger them because they're people too. And that's another thing that I kind of had to slow down on a little bit in my second term. My first term, I was so obsessed with answering my phone or answering text messages or answering emails. I didn't want to miss anything. It became this weird, unhealthy obsession. So I kind of had to take a step back and be like, hey, you can let that go to voicemail. It's 8 o'clock. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
If it's an emergency, they can call somebody else. So definitely keep in contact with your local officials. And in my opinion, elections never stop. Which I mean, as state reps, we run every 2 years, so we're campaigning nonstop anyway. But the Democrats never stop. They're always trying to figure out ways and poke holes in the armor. So, like I said, just staying involved with your local party, even if it means just going to a meeting or um, zooming in or whatever. And, the state party too, they're always looking for volunteers. And, there's elections across the country that I'm sure they can get you in touch with, and you can make phone calls from your house. Send emails. I did that too. You can send emails from your house. You don't have to leave your house. So effort is a big thing. Big
Hmm.
thing. Because there's not a lot of people that want to do it. They want to show up. They want to hang out. They want to say, woohoo, I'm at the Republican Party. I'm the best ever, but they don't want to do it. So,
Hmm. And what would you kind of maybe say to those people that are kind of at that, like they kind of just show up, or obviously we appreciate them and stuff like that, but they kind of just show up, or maybe they're just one step from helping us out, or what would you say to them?
yeah, I mean, the way I judge commitment is based off of works. Now, obviously, if somebody's got 6 kids and they work 2 jobs and they can barely make it to the meeting, okay, all right, hey, you're doing all you can. You are maxing it out. But if you don't have that, if you're retired and you go around and give your opinion to everybody about how massive a Republican you are, and you're complaining about this and complaining about that, and you want things to change, but you're not doing anything about it, I don't really want to hear it. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
they may be going on like Twitter posting about they don't like
Mhm.
local this, local that, but
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
where
Oh,
they
I can't stand my state representative Kip Capley because he did this. But I'm not going to put my name on the ballot, or I'm not going to call him and talk to him and ask him why he did this, or I'm not going to make any effort whatsoever to try to reconcile that. I'm just going to go out there and complain. And that's
yeah,
just what you're wasting everybody's time at that point, I think. I mean, you're not doing anything. What are you doing? You're complaining. Nobody wants to hear that. So
mm,
now if you're I'll put it this way: if you're out and you're working and you're invested in it and you're still upset, that's great. You're working toward it. Good. It's a good thing. We can all be upset. It's fine. Um, but yeah, like the you got to get involved.
yeah.
You got to.
So some like advice you would have for the people who want to get involved and make a difference is commitment. If like you said, if you really want to help make a change and you can't just go reposting all this stuff and like
Mhm.
because I noticed that there's a lot of that on the Democratic side. There's a lot of let's just repost
Yep.
and that's all I'm gonna do. So if so you would say is that some advice you would say? Is get
It's
out there
really
and
not hard. You just have to show up.
yeah.
Show up. Put a smile on. Be nice. That's literally all it takes. And whether it's volunteering in a county commission race or volunteering for a state senate campaign or whatever, if you show up and you want to work and you want to be around people and you have a positive attitude, it's going to lead you to other things down the road, and you're going to make great relationships, great connections. Even if it doesn't go anywhere, say you lose, whatever, you're still going to make great friends. You're going to meet people, and I think it's fulfilling. You're serving your community, and you're putting your money where your mouth is, which is important.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, in all your few years of experience, which is great, would you say that there is something that you're most proud of in the Tennessee House, like a bill or something that you're most proud of?
Yeah, along with the help of my colleagues, I carried a bill called the Back the Blue Act, which made assault on law enforcement officers a felony. So that wasn't a felony before that. It had been tried for, I don't know, probably 20 years, and we just couldn't get it across the finish line, couldn't get it funded, and this was kind of shortly after the defund the police stuff.
Hmm.
We just had the momentum and the steam to get it done. We got it funded and got it passed. So now, if you assault a law enforcement officer in the state of Tennessee, you're going to get a felony. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Um, and my argument, of course, to the Democrats, I don't know of any other job that somebody can literally pull you over and you are not allowed to leave until they're done with you. I can't think of any other career that's. I mean, it's very serious, and I think as a country, we've lost some of that. We've lost a little bit of that seriousness and that respect for law enforcement, which I think is sad. But that's probably that one. That's probably my favorite one so far. We're working on getting EMS on that as well. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's probably my favorite one I've done so far.
That yeah, and I was reading about that a little bit. I think that's a great one because as my time in Chicago, people don't respect law enforcement, and that's why Chicago has the highest crime rate in all 50 states, and that's why the crime is soaring, which is why people are moving out.
Hmm.
And that's why, and it's a perfect example why local elections is so important because people think, oh, it's just my local state representative. Yeah, but your
Hmm.
local state representative is the exact person who makes these things and makes our state so safe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I
Exactly.
mean, your sheriff is theoretically the most powerful individual in your county. I mean, he can shut it down constitutionally. I mean, he can do it. People need to look into that if you got some free time. They're very important, and the DAs too. I mean, if you got a weak DA, your community's going to suffer. You look at Nashville, look at Memphis. I mean, prime examples.
Exactly.
And you can
Yeah.
tell them I said that too.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time and your insight. It was really great, and I know I learned a lot today. And I hope everyone watching has definitely learned a lot too. And if you definitely anyone wants to get involved and learn more about of the issues affecting Williamson County or counties all around, Summertown County, definitely visit the Williamson County GOP website or our Instagram, and we can definitely you can reach out to me and reach out to other members, and we can get the ball rolling.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if anybody wants to volunteer or if I can help them in any way, Antonio, give them my contact information and be glad to help them.
All right. Well, thank you for today.
Absolutely.